She told me love takes time to build, like a house, brick by brick. We had all the time in the world, she'd say, holding my hand, her eyes sparkling with what I thought was sincerity. I believed her. I really did. For 5 years, I laid each brick with care, pouring my heart and soul into building our life together. I worked 2 jobs so she could pursue her dream of being an artist. I remembered every anniversary, every little inside joke, every single thing that made her smile. I thought we were building a fortress of love, something unshakable. But it turns out, while I was busy laying the foundation, she was quietly building a back door. It all started subtly, so subtly that I barely noticed. She began spending more and more time at the art studio, coming home late, smelling of turpentine, and something else I couldn't quite place. "It's a big project, babe," she'd say, exhaustion in her voice. This could be my big break. I supported her, of course. I made her dinner, ran her baths, and told her how proud I was. I brushed off the late-night texts she'd quickly hide, the sudden need for privacy with her phone. "It's just the gallery owner," she'd explain. "He's a bit of a night owl." I chose to trust her because that's what you do when you love someone, right? You give them the benefit of the doubt. My friends saw the red flags before I did. "Are you sure everything's okay?" my best friend Mark asked one evening over a beer. "She seems distant." I defended her, almost too aggressively. "She's just stressed with work. You don't know her like I do." Looking back, maybe I was trying to convince myself more than him. The doubt, however, began to creep in. A slow poison. It was the little things. The way she'd flinch when I'd hug her from behind. The way her laughter didn't quite reach her eyes anymore. The fortress I thought we were building suddenly felt like it was made of sand. The final brick didn't just fall. It was smashed to pieces by a single text message I wasn't supposed to see. I was using her tablet to look up a recipe, and her phone, linked to it, lit up. It was from gallery owner. The message read, "Can't stop thinking about last night. You're intoxicating. He has no idea, does he?" My world didn't just crumble. It imploded. Every memory, every "I love you," every shared dream was instantly tainted. The air was sucked from my lungs. I sat there staring at the screen, the words burning into my mind. He has no idea. No, I didn't. I was the fool, happily laying bricks for a house that was already condemned. I confronted her that night. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. My voice was eerily calm, a stark contrast to the hurricane raging inside me. I simply placed the tablet on the table in front of her. The color drained from her face. For a moment she tried to deny it, to spin a story about a misunderstanding. But the truth was written all over her, a masterpiece of deceit she couldn't paint over. Finally she broke. The tears came, but they didn't look like tears of remorse. They looked like tears of someone who got caught. "It just happened," she whispered. "I didn't mean for it to." Those words, they were like salt in the wound. "It just happened?" I asked, my voice cracking for the first time. 5 years, Sarah. 5 years we've been building this. You told me love takes time, but you gave yours away in a moment." She said it wasn't about me. It was about her, her insecurities, feeling alive, the thrill of it all. She tried to explain it away with artistic temperament and a need for passion. But all I heard were excuses. All I saw was the woman I loved telling me that our life, our love, wasn't enough. The most painful part was her justification. "I still love you," she claimed. "This doesn't change that." How could she say that? How could love and betrayal coexist in the same heart? It was a logic I couldn't comprehend. It was like she was speaking a different language. The home we built together was no longer a home. It was just a house, filled with ghosts of a future that would never be. That night, I packed a bag. I walked through the rooms we had painted together, past the photos of us smiling on vacations I had saved for months to afford, Every object was a memory, and every memory was a knife. She begged me to stay, to talk it out, to go to counseling. "We can fix this," she cried. "Love takes time, remember? We can take the time to rebuild." But I looked at her and I didn't see the woman I fell in love with. I saw a stranger. "You're right," I said, my hand on the doorknob. "Love does take time, but trust? Trust is shattered in an instant, and you don't have enough time in the world to piece that back together." I walked out and didn't look back. The foundation was broken, and some things just can't be rebuilt. The days that followed were a blur of pain and anger. It felt like a constant, low-frequency hum of grief. I stayed with Mark, who, to his credit, never once said, "I told you so." He just let me be, let me process. I went through the stages: the shock, the denial, the white-hot rage, and finally, a deep, hollow sadness. I would find myself replaying our entire relationship in my head, searching for clues, for the exact moment things went wrong. Was I not enough? Was I boring? Did I not pay her enough attention? The self-doubt was a monster feeding on my insecurities. But slowly, with the help of friends and a lot of long, lonely walks, I started to realize that her choices were not a reflection of my worth. They were a reflection of her character. I started to focus on myself. I hit the gym, not for revenge, but for release. I poured my energy back into my own career, the one I had put on the back burner for her. I started rebuilding, not a house with someone else, but my own life, on my own terms. It was a slow process. Some days, a song on the radio or a familiar scent would send me spiraling back into the memories. But each time I pulled myself out a little faster. I learned that healing isn't a straight line. It's messy, with good days and bad days. I had to learn to be patient with myself, to give myself the same grace I had so freely given to her. One day, about a year later, I was in a coffee shop, sketching in a notebook, a hobby I'd picked up. A woman sat down at the table next to me and commented on my drawing. We started talking. It was easy, natural. There was no pretense, no agenda. We talked for an hour about everything and nothing. When she left, she smiled and said, "It was really nice talking to you." And I realized in that moment that the storm inside me had passed. The hurricane was gone. There was just quiet, a calm sense of peace. I wasn't looking for love. I wasn't avoiding it either. I was just living. I learned a powerful lesson from all this. Love doesn't just take time. It takes honesty, respect, and commitment from both people. A foundation can't be built by one person alone. And while she thought she was just building a back door, she had actually demolished the entire structure. I'm not bitter anymore. I'm grateful. Grateful for the lesson. Grateful for my friends, and grateful for the strength I found within myself. I'm building a new life now, brick by brick. But this time, I'm building it for me. And the foundation is solid, because it's built on self-respect, and the knowledge that I deserve a love that is honest and true. Thanks for listening to my story. If you're going through something similar, remember to be kind to yourself. You will get through this. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.